You have to let go of your person because they will never be the same again after this brutal incident. Last night, your person lost their dear soul. If your eyes have found these words, it is not an accident. Heaven does not work through accidents. There is a reason you are here, a reason this moment has been set apart from every other moment of your life. Your guardian angels, the messengers of the Most High, have been sent to whisper through this message, to perform a holy surgery on your heart, to cut away what is dead so that new life, true life, can rise within you. This is not a casual encounter. This is a divine appointment. So I ask you now to still your restless thoughts, to quiet the anxious voices that have been echoing inside you. Take a breath that reaches deeper than your lungs, a breath that travels into the hidden chambers of your soul. For what you are about to hear will not only challenge what you think you know, it will demand that you release it. There is a finality in the air tonight. You can feel it, even if you cannot name it. Your spirit has sensed it for days, perhaps weeks, a low hum of grief you could not explain, as though the heavens themselves were preparing you for something irreversible. The universe has been whispering that a line has been crossed, a point of no return reached. And it is true. Something has ended. Something sacred has shifted. This is not merely the closing of a chapter. This is the death of an entire story. And yet, hidden inside that death is a promise of resurrection. This is not a soft message of gentle comfort. It is a solemn announcement, a trumpet blast from eternity. A death has taken place, and with it, a rebirth is already stirring. Your heart must be strong to receive this truth, but you are strong. Heaven has chosen you because your spirit carries a strength far greater than you have yet realized. You must let go of your person. Let those words fall upon you with the weight of holy truth. Do not rush past them. Do not dilute their meaning. You must release them. The one you have been holding in the secret chambers of your heart, the one for whom you have prayed in the midnight hours, the one you have longed for as though your own breath depended on their return. You must turn your gaze away, because the one you once knew will never be the same again. Something irreversible has happened. A spiritual earthquake has shaken the ground beneath their soul, and the person you loved as they once were has ceased to exist. Last night, in the hidden hours when the world slept, your person lost their mask. Pause here. Let that truth settle into your spirit. This was not a small thing. It was everything. The mask they lost was not a mere disguise of manners. It was the false self they carefully crafted the day they walked away from you. It was the mask of indifference that said, "I don't care." The mask of pride that whispered, "I am strong without you." The mask of counterfeit happiness that insisted, "I have moved on." It was a mask welded to their soul by the flames of fear and the stubbornness of ego. And last night, in a moment of unbearable pressure, that mask did not simply slip. It was ripped away with a violence that cannot be undone. The person who left you, the one who chose shadow over light, died in that moment, and you, beloved soul, must let them go. Understand this clearly. The incident that tore away their mask was not a car crash, not a public humiliation, not an outward catastrophe. It was a spiritual war that reached its final, bloody climax. It was the last desperate struggle between their soul and their ego, and the ego lost. Perhaps it was triggered by something deceptively small, a song that carried the scent of your laughter, a stranger's voice that sounded like your own, a sudden silence with the third party that became louder than thunder. But in that seemingly ordinary moment, the mask became too heavy to bear. It tightened around them like a noose, choking the very breath from their spirit until they clawed at it in terror. And in a silent, unseen battlefield, the facade was torn away. What remained was not the person they pretended to be. What remained was a raw, trembling soul, exposed, terrified, blinking in the blinding light of truth. A soul that had not seen daylight since it last stood in the glow of your love. A soul that is now wounded and forever changed. They will never be the same. The version of them who was capable of leaving you no longer exists. That shadow self has been burned away in the holy fire of regret and divine awakening. Do you see now why heaven has brought you to this message? You were chosen for this. You were chosen to be the love so pure, so unshakably true, that it made their mask a prison. Your very existence, your unwavering authenticity, became the gentle but relentless pressure that cracked the foundation of their false reality. You were not a passive victim in their departure. You were a divine catalyst. Your love was the spark God used to ignite the collapse of their ego. The pain you endured was not meaningless. It was the sacred tension required for their salvation. But hear this carefully. You must release the person who left. This is no longer a cry of loss. It is a declaration of victory. The one who abandoned you was only a shadow, a hollow construction of fear and pride. Heaven is asking you to loosen your grip on the ghost so that you can make room for the redeemed soul now awakening in their place. Stop praying for the return of the jailer. Prepare instead for the arrival of the liberated one. If and when God wills it, do not chase what has already died. Stand still and let the resurrection come in God's time. Let me take you inside their night of reckoning. Picture it. They stood before a mirror, an ordinary act turned sacramental. But what stared back was not themselves. It was the mask, hollow-eyed, lifeless. Behind that lifeless reflection flickered a memory. The person they once were when they stood beside you, alive with joy, burning with authenticity. And the contrast was unbearable. It struck them like a lightning bolt of divine conviction. They felt a revulsion so deep it could only be the mercy of God, a holy disgust at the false life they had built. Their knees nearly gave way. A sound rose from their chest, not a cry, but a primal, wordless groan. The sound of chains snapping in the unseen realm. It was the wail of a soul breaking free. They looked into their own eyes and saw the ruins of every lie they had ever lived. And in that holy terror, they ripped away the mask. It was not courage that moved them, but grace. Grace fierce enough to destroy the prison they had built. Yet, do not miss the lesson. This is not only about them. This is about you. The same God who tore away their mask is now reaching for yours. For though you may not wear the same disguise, you too have hidden behind fears, behind longings, behind the belief that your healing depends on their return. Heaven is calling you to release that lie. Your worth is not defined by their awakening. Your destiny is not chained to their choices. God is doing a new thing in you, and it requires your hands to be empty. Let go of what has died, so that the resurrection within you can rise without obstruction. So breathe, dear soul. Breathe in the holy air of this moment. The death has already taken place. The mask is gone. The false story has ended. Now comes the dawn, the quiet but unstoppable rising of new life. Your person is no longer who they were, and neither are you. What awaits is not a return to the old, but the birth of something radiant and eternal. Heaven has written a new chapter, and the author of all love is already turning the page. Here is the hidden truth, a secret act of purification they performed immediately after this breakdown. After the storm of tears had passed, they walked through their home, their life, and began to purge. They deleted photos from their phone that represented the lie. They threw away a piece of clothing, an object that was a symbol of their inauthentic life. It was a quiet, solemn, ritualistic cleansing. It was them, in the dead of night, conducting a funeral for their false self, a funeral to which only their own soul was invited. You must let go of the person who left. Now, prepare yourself, for the universe is sending you a sign, a physical echo of this spiritual shattering. In the next 24 to 48 hours, you are going to see a crack. It will be in an unexpected place. A crack in a teacup you've used 100 times. A new, noticeable crack in the pavement on your daily walk. You might even crack the screen of your phone. Do not be annoyed. When you see this crack, I want you to stop and smile. This is not a sign of something breaking. It is a divine confirmation that the facade has broken. It is the universe showing you tangible proof that the wall of illusion has come down. Let us now do the sacred work of letting go. Find a comfortable position. Close your eyes. I want you to bring into your mind's eye the image of the person who left you. See their face as it was in those last moments. See the confusion, the fear, the coldness. Acknowledge the pain they caused. Thank this version of them for the lessons, for the strength you discovered in their absence. Now, see this image of them become translucent, like a photograph fading in the sun. See it begin to gently lift, like a piece of ash on a warm breeze, and let it drift away from you, up into the sky, where it dissolves into pure, white light. Feel the space that is now left in your heart. It is not an empty void. It is a clean, sacred, open space. It is a welcome mat. It is a throne room waiting for the arrival of the true king or queen, the authentic, unmasked soul who is now finding their way back to you. Feel the peace in this release. You are not losing them. You are making room for them. In this sacred space of release, let us seal this prophecy with a prayer. Let this be a prayer of farewell to the past and a powerful invocation for the future that is now being born. O divine creator, author of the most heartbreaking and glorious stories, I come before you today with a spirit that is both grieving and celebrating. I have received your truth. I understand that a death has occurred, a necessary and holy death of the ego, the fear, and the illusion that held my beloved captive. I thank you for the brutal incident, for the crisis that became the crucible, for the moment of unbearable pain that became the catalyst for their ultimate liberation. Today, with a heart full of grace and a spirit full of resolve, I officially let go. I let go of the person who left me. I release the ghost of their memory, the sting of their words, the chill of their absence. I release the need to understand the past, and I surrender it to your divine fire, allowing it to be purifying into fuel for our future. I thank that version of my person for the journey, and I lovingly, finally, and completely release them. My hands, my heart, and my soul are now open, and I pray now for the one who was born last night from the ashes of that fire, my beloved, my true, unmasked soulmate. I ask you to surround them with your most compassionate and strengthening angels. This rebirth is a tender, terrifying time. Let them not be afraid of the raw, new skin of their own authenticity. Give them the courage to look in the mirror now and see not a stranger, but the soul you created them to be, the soul that I first fell in love with. Guide their steps as they dismantle the rest of their false life. Give them the words of compassionate finality to end the karmic chapter. Let them walk away from the illusion not with anger, but with the quiet dignity of a soul that has finally chosen its own truth. And as they make their way back to me, Lord, I pray for my own heart. I have created a sacred, empty space for them. I ask you to fill that space with your peace until the moment they arrive to fill it with their love. Help me to greet them not with the wounds of the past, but with the wisdom of the journey. Let me be a safe harbor for their newly exposed soul, a mirror that reflects back to them not their past mistakes, but their present, magnificent truth. I thank you in advance for this reunion, which will not be a sequel, but a brand new story. I thank you for the honest conversations, the tears of a relief so profound it will feel like a baptism, the profound peace of two authentic souls finally meeting, unmasked and unashamed, in the holy light of a love that has conquered death itself. The ghost is gone. The true one is coming. My heart is ready. I claim this resurrection. I claim this reunion. I claim this victory. In the name of all that is holy, it is done. Amen. The most painful part is over. The death has occurred. Now comes the resurrection. Your job is not to wait for the old person to come back, but to prepare to meet the new one. They are not the same, and for that, you can be eternally grateful. To anchor this sacred act of release and to declare your readiness for this new beginning, go to the comments section right now and type this powerful declaration. I release the past and welcome the truth. This is your spiritual signature on the death certificate of the old story and the birth certificate of the new one. It is you telling the universe that you are ready for the miracle. If you feel led to support this mission of spreading prophetic and anointed words from heaven, consider contributing through a super thanks. Whether it's $5, $10, $20, or more. May God bless every giver 100-fold and return to you the desires of your heart in divine timing. Your offering helps us continue to share God's love with those who need it most. Together, we are building a community rooted in faith, anchored in love, and aligned with purpose.